In the ever-evolving geopolitical chessboard, new alliances are forming. Unlikely friends are shaking hands and long-standing partnerships are quietly being tested. Today, we examine a quiet but calculated diplomatic reshuffle with global consequences. Pakistan's unexpected rise in global forums is a question. Pakistan to chair the Taliban Sanctions Committee and serve as vice chair of the UN Counter-Terrorism Committee in 2025. And in an ironic twist, Pakistan, often criticized for harboring extremist networks, is now being trusted to lead global oversight on terrorism and Taliban sanctions. Is this a reward for quiet cooperation behind closed doors, or a geopolitical compromise born out of necessity? Western powers see Pakistan as geographically indispensable to any solution in Afghanistan. This elevation also aligns with the UN's trend of balancing global power, even if it means tolerating contradictions. IMF infusion, bailout, or binding contract. Pakistan receives $1.02 billion under IMF's extended fund facility and $1.4 billion for climate resilience. Cash-strapped and debt-ridden Pakistan receives a financial lifeline. But when money comes this easily, the real question is, what's the cost? And who benefits most from Pakistan's recovery? Islamabad or its foreign financiers? The IMF bailout helps Pakistan avert default, but also deepens its economic dependence on multilateral lenders. The Climate Resilience Fund further aligns Pakistan with global climate frameworks, a strategic positioning to attract Western support. India's geopolitical puzzle? Excluded, then invited. India, initially snubbed by G7, later receives an invitation. India, an economic powerhouse, a tech leader, and a major democracy, found itself missing from the initial invite list of the world's most exclusive club. Is this just diplomatic mismanagement or an early sign that India's independence is making Western allies uncomfortable? New Delhi's neutral stance on the Russia-Ukraine conflict, trade deals with Iran, and assertive foreign policy have raised concerns in Western capitals. Despite this, India remains indispensable in balancing China, especially in Quad and Indo-Pacific strategies. But here's the dilemma. Is India too big to ignore, yet too independent to trust? Russia's silent pivot to Pakistan. Russia signs new trade deals with Pakistan, and rumors swirl of industrial cooperation and energy infrastructure. In a development few anticipated a decade ago, Moscow is quietly building trade and industrial ties with Pakistan, a country historically allied with the West and China. Is Russia hedging against its isolation from the West by seeking new footholds in South Asia? Emerging signs: Russian energy companies are reportedly exploring gas pipeline projects and industrial plant construction in Pakistan, particularly in sectors like metallurgy and power generation. Trade agreements now span wheat, oil, and liquefied natural gas. Russia has also expressed openness to barter trade mechanisms bypassing the dollar. Does this mark a strategic pivot or just economic opportunism? More importantly, what does this mean for India, Russia's historical defense and energy partner? Geopolitical triangulation, India, Pakistan, and the new great game. Let's connect the dots. Pakistan is now a diplomatic darling at the UN. The IMF and Western lenders are fueling its economic revival. China continues to build its strategic corridor through Pakistan. And now, Russia joins the fray quietly but purposefully. Is this a global convergence to stabilize Pakistan or a subtle coalition to counterbalance India's rise? The big players, what's the real game? United States. US wants to maintain regional stability post-Afghanistan. and uses Pakistan for intelligence and containment of extremist spill lovers, seeks to discipline India for its diplomatic non alignment without losing it to China or Russia. And what about China? Deeply invested in CPEC, securing its trade routes and influence, supports a stronger Pakistan to dilute Indian regional hegemony. And let's think about Russia. Increasingly isolated from the West, it seeks new economic partners. Engagement with Pakistan opens non Western markets and pressure points against India if needed. Is Russia testing a future where India is no longer its only South Asian ally? And now, can Pakistan be trusted to enforce sanctions against the Taliban, or is this geopolitical theater? Is the IMF acting as a neutral stabilizer or a strategic instrument for Western interests? Has India's strategic independence begun to threaten traditional Western influence? Is Russia's growing footprint in Pakistan a tactical move or the start of a long term realignment? And perhaps most provocatively, are global powers uniting not to uplift Pakistan but to contain the emerging power India? South Asia is no longer just a regional arena, it's the new front line of a slow strategic recalibration of power. Is this game of alliances and influence? There are no permanent friends, only shifting interests. The question is not just what's happening, but who is orchestrating the silence between the headlines. Stay aware, stay skeptical. The future is being negotiated, not declared. And keep watching The Global Eye.